Really, dudes? All prying personnel. A must read. I need and would like to take this opportunity to sincerely apologize. It seems that in a struggle of inner turmoil and exponential unknowing, I have made a massive and correctable error in judgment and execution of an order by and for which I had not the authority or the right to do so. Under duress, I assumed that I was encountering those responsible for my departure from Earth in the quietest form of communication deep from within my mind. I offered potentially better candidates to take my place as Earth representatives, nothing more and nothing less. This included individuals with management, performing, and previous knowledge of the potentially risky situation. I offered a list of identities not of my own volition, and instead, in almost a mention of passing, was simultaneously informed and held responsible for the identity of at least two individuals, X and Y, name concealed for privacy reasons. Neither of these men or their respective professional or private lives, friends, families, have or would have the capacity, and I see this now, to manage, beneficially affect, or help the situation without direct contact to me closer to the time of the incident. I am regrettably indebted to whoever or whatever has helped me through this situation, and am dearly sorry and deeply regretted to acknowledge the attempt to contact extraterrestrial beings. Regardless of your affiliation to government, private, or extraneous organizations, it is this opportunity that I will take to avoid any continued investigation, monitoring, and effectual observation on behalf of myself for these and any individuals who are directly or indirectly linked to the situation or operation known as Silent Killer 7. Silent Killer 7 was the combined effort of psychic, scientific, and calculated divisions of human sentient persons to accomplish a secure link to otherworldly beings and their definitively inhuman manner of material manipulation, including warping, cutting through, and the folding the fabric of space-time to travel information and or vessels, accessing a machine, formula, or currently designated as a formerly unknowable method of energy infinitive production. So in essence, using this power source and its many iterations, versions of possible conception, to travel faster than the speed of light, and essentially breaking the laws that revolve around time. To delve deeper into the nature of these individuals and the potential to both be aware and unaware of the situation. If these beings had access to technologies or methods of communication that could both separate and reform timelines parallel, they could have access to a few different ways of creating a formal link to beings who fully and totally identify as the listed potential human candidates. In essence, creating a situation where there could have been entities who fully believed and possibly were the persons in question. Yet, while I slept and telepathically communicated with these bipartisan nodes, the persons in question who shared the same earth that I had inhabited had no knowledge of the situation. The bipartisan nodes are important people, relays, and if many organizations or multiple relays exist, any number of slow-moving and fast-moving forms of communication could have brought these people and the lives that surround them closer and closer to my situational, while I, the person, Matthew Kennefoss, was and would be under the impression, a risky impression, that these people in question were already informed and assimilated deftly into the situation. The nature of this phenomenon being that simultaneously people knew and didn't know, without ever needing to be dishonest. What was going on about Operation Silent Killer 7? So to clarify, the reason ultimately for writing this letter is to abolish and purge any organization, individuals, or groups of the responsibility and suspect-worthy position they currently occupy. Please. These ultimately, in all scenarios, are good, almost entirely honest people who do not deserve unwarranted attention. Alien beings will not contact these people, Extraterrestrials are far more likely to act in diplomatic and intellectual representations than to harm or directly contact an individual ever again. Considering the nature of my thoughts, feelings, and premonitions, it is my professional and personal opinion that the exchange of information that occurred was sufficient to fabricate and maintain a currency or formal distancing between human beings and extraterrestrials. No, very little English or truly expressible simple messages were traded between me and them, but yes, they did operate on the pretense of study and scientific methodological investigation practice. Many different types, species, I would call them cultures of species, exist, and indeed, I can affirm that multiple and many, if not all forms of sentient, organized, and predisposed, possibly to imply peace with the human race, extraterrestrials, including extra-dimensional beings or trans-dimensional ones, contacted, conducted, and have since left the confines of my mind, body, and life. As a general warning, and this comes to you at risk to myself, it seems likely that psychedelics are the only knowable pretense for first contact situations, and simple questionnaires would be sufficient post-event to conclude based on first-person testimony if there has been ever even danger or semblances of contact. Understandably, this comes as a greater calling to the human race to inform and create a world where psychedelics, alien encounters, and other unexplainable phenomenon, night terrors, paranormal encounters, near-death experiences, psychological disorders, neurological disorders, etc., stop being a type of stop wall or dead process type of human experience. People should not feel shamed, afraid, or concerned to express honestly strange, abnormal, and otherwise unexplainable situations. We risk the minds and lives of countless individuals, and without the care to treat these things seriously and without reproach is to cost progress, scientific, accounted, and furthered. P.S. In the market for a GCN game Killer 7? Anyone got Killer 7? I'm in the market for a GCN game.